Hi, everybody. This is Tara. I'm coming to you from the Purple Couch in Chicago, and this is another video that where I share a poem or a book that I really love or I think is highly important, and it speaks to me on levels. This poem that I want to share with you today is no exception. Um, it's called "The Burning of Paper Instead of Children." And I wanted to share it because it's one of the poems that helped form my political consciousness as a writer. But I kept thinking about the line. There's a line in here where Rich says, "This is the oppressor's language, yet I needed to talk to you." And it's a line that I've carried throughout my pedagogy as a teaching artist and a professor because we need to understand that we're in a language that has been politically loaded from its inception, right? And not just politically loaded in the terms of it comes from Latin and German, and that it's what we know as English, right? We all know that English is a language that has been the language of colonizers. So there's that layer of understanding to that line. But in the poem, we get to see how language is a form of violence, right? We get to see how there are different types of violence that are acted out through class and physicality. And I think it's important to look at this poem for another reason, too. It was originally published in her, I believe it was her 1971 collection, The Will to Change, which preceded Diving into the Wreck. Diving into the Wreck was her 1974 collection that won the National Book Award. And when she won that award, she said, "I claim this award with Audre Lorde and Alice Walker." And when you go and look at pictures, these three women are standing together. So if you look at Audre Lorde's work or Alice Walker's work or Adrienne Rich, these were three really powerful women writers who have consistently throughout their body of work and their lives stood with other women. So it's a really powerful moment that I don't think has really been replicated in American letters. But I say all that to lead into the poem. This is my edition that it's in. It's a selected collection that's really old. The Fact of a Door Frame. So you can see poem selected and new 1950 to 1984. I don't think this is in print, but this poem is definitely probably online and in other anthologies. So I'll read and get started. The burning of paper instead of children. I was in danger of verbalizing my moral impulses out of existence. Daniel Berrigan, on trial in Baltimore. 1. My neighbor, a scientist and art collector, telephones me in a state of violent emotion. He tells me that my son and his, aged 11 and 12, have on the last day of school burned a mathematics textbook in the backyard. He has forbidden my son to come to his house for a week and has forbidden his own son to leave the house during that time. The burning of a book, he says, arouses terrible sensations in me, memories of Hitler. There are few things that upset me so much as the idea of burning a book. Back there, the library, walled with green Britannicas, looking again in Durer's complete works for Melancholia, The Baffled Woman, The Crocodiles in Herodotus, The Book of the Dead, The Trial of Jeanne d'Arc. So blue. I think it is her color, and they take the book away because I dream of her too often. Love and fear in a house, knowledge of the oppressor. I know it hurts to burn, too. To imagine a time of silence or a few words, a time of chemistry and music, the hollows above your buttocks, traced by my hand, or hair is like flesh, you said. An age of long silence, relief from this tongue, this slab of limestone or reinforced concrete, fanatics and traitors dumped on this coast, wild green, clay red, that breathed once. in signals of smoke, sweep of the wind, knowledge of the oppressor. This is the oppressor's language. Yet I need it to talk to you. 3. People suffer highly in poverty, and it takes dignity and intelligence to overcome this suffering. Some of the suffering are: a child did not have dinner last night, a child steal because he did not have money to buy it, to hear a mother say she do not have money to buy food for her children, and to see a child without cloth, it will make tears in your eyes. The fracture of order, the repair of speech to overcome this suffering. 4. We lie under the sheet after making love, speaking of loneliness relieved in a book, relived in a book. So on that page, the clot and fissure of it appears. Words of a man in pain, a naked word entering the clot, a hand grasping through bars. Deliverance. What happens between us has happened for centuries. We know it from literature. Still, it happens. Sexual jealousy, outflung hand, beating bed, dryness of mouth after panting. There are books that describe all this, and they are useless. You walk into the woods behind a house. There, in that country, you find a temple built 1800 years ago. You enter without knowing what it is you enter. So it is with us. No one knows what may happen through the books. Tell everything. Burn the texts, said our toad. 5. I am composing on the typewriter late at night, thinking of today, how well we all spoke. A language is a map of our failures. Frederick Douglass wrote an English purer than Milton's. People suffer highly in poverty. There are methods, but we do not use them. Joan, who could not read, spoke some peasant form of French. Some of the suffering are: it is hard to tell the truth. This is America. I cannot touch you now. In America, we have only the present tense. I am in danger. You are in danger. The burning of a book arouses no sensation in me. I know it hurts to burn. There are flames of napalm in Catonsville, Maryland. I know it hurts to burn. The typewriter is overheated. My mouth is burning. I cannot touch you. And this is the oppressor's language. Adrienne Rich. Hope you will take the time to check her out if you haven't already. And this is Tara Betts signing off. I'll be back soon.